The Community Foundation of Greenville enhances the quality of life in Greenville County by linking philanthropic leadership, charitable resources, and civic involvement with needs and opportunities in our community. Tonight is our annual celebration of those companies, individuals, and organizations that best epitomize the tradition of giving back to our community. Those being honored tonight demonstrate leadership in all aspects of charity toward others. We extend a warm thank you for your charitable contributions to our community and congratulate each of you for this award.
I'm Mike Wilson, Greenville County District Manager at Duke Energy. We make life better for millions of people every day by providing electric service in a sustainable way that is affordable, reliable, and clean. Few organizations know better than the Greenville Area Interfaith Hospitality Network how important it is to have a healthy environment and home to rely on. Their mission is to foster networks that provide shelter, meals, and assistance for homeless families. The Community Spirit Award is given to an outstanding local nonprofit organization that serves the community not only through its vital programs, but also through its exceptional efforts to communicate and partner with other nonprofits. We are proud to present this year's Community Spirit Award to the Greenville Area Interfaith Hospitality Network.
GAIN, Greenville Area Interfaith Hospitality Network, is a consortium of 42 congregations in the upstate, mostly in Greenville County, that partner together to share hospitality with homeless families. Hospitality being defined as emergency shelter, meals, and short-term interim housing. We do that thanks to the well wishes and spiritual energy of 1,500 volunteers in those congregations who make hospitality happen for homeless families, providing meals, helping children with homework, spending the night at a church. An overnight host and hostess are at every one of our congregations when homeless families are staying there, making sure families have everything they need so that they can keep body and soul together, so they can stick together as families while they're dealing with the crucible of being homeless. All of these congregations and the people in them have a variety of different theological points of view, political points of view, cultural points of view, and yet every faith tradition holds as one of its primary pillars ministry with the poor. So our GAIN congregations are wonderful about accentuating the things that they hold in common, that is, wanting to help people help themselves and to move forward in life. Most of our families, the GAIN families, are from right here in Greenville. They grew up here, they go to church here, they went to high school here. These are families who may be facing the crisis of their lives. And so congregations reach out and provide the space and the people power that they have and welcome those families. That comes from their hearts, and it comes from what makes Greenville such a wonderful place to live. I would go on to say, though, that having homeless families residing in your congregational facilities for a week also changes a congregational family. Because once you hear a story of someone's plight, someone's difficulty, and how they're overcoming it, it can be quite inspiring. It can help people realize what gratitude means, what dependence on God is really all about, and that together we can make a brighter future.
I'm Fletcher Kirkland from Mackey Mortuary, sponsor of the Benevolent Spirit Award. The Benevolent Spirit Award was created to honor an individual who has generously given time and incredible support to an organization. This year's recipient is a Greenville native who has generously served in this community for over 50 years. Motivated by her passion for education and dedication to the well-being of children, she's become one of the area's most notable and beloved community leaders. For her constant work, kindness, and generosity, we are proud to introduce the 2012 Benevolent Spirit Award winner, Mrs. Betty Farr.
Can you say Johnny Appleseed?
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed's real name was John Chapman.
When I was young, I always went to the public library, and Margaret Mann was the storyteller there. She read to all the children, and I just never missed that. I was so interested in it. And then As time went on, I thought I could do that too. So I started out over 50 years ago trying to do some stories that she did, some of the same ones, but I added a little flair to it by dressing up. I always felt like if I had to do a theme, I would wear that costume. So actually I have a costume for every month of the year. It means so much to me because I know that I have brought happiness to a lot of people, especially when I go to nursing homes. At the end of every one of my programs, I always sing Let Me Call You Sweetheart. This one little man that rolled in had never spoken a word for 2 years. And when I sang Let Me Call You Sweetheart, he immediately says, I'm in love with you. And then he started singing the song. And then I stepped back and asked him to sing the entire song. And with that, he just took right off and sang the whole song and knew every word. And all the doctors were called in and all the nurses and staff, and they just couldn't believe it. So maybe I created something there that made him feel special and caused him to talk again. And later on in a couple of years, he passed away, and his sister's request was that we do Let Me Call You Sweetheart. So that was a real meaningful thing to me.
And just then I said, come down, please. Can you say that?
Well, I don't intend to change my feelings about telling stories. I keep thinking each year maybe I should retire. But then as I think about retiring, then what would those little people do? And what would the elderly do if I didn't show up sometimes? And then I would feel like I'm leaving somebody out, or the need is still there. So I guess I just won't retire until I have to. I always hope that I can keep wearing those same costumes every year. You know, the community has given so much to me, and I think it's my privilege and my job to give back to the community, and especially when I know I'm helpful to somebody out there that needs me. And I feel that it's everybody's responsibility to do something for the community. This is a great community that we live in, and we must all can be of some help.
Good evening. I'm Sheldon Early, Executive Vice President of Tempest Jets and Aeroflight Solutions, a global leader in private aviation services. We are the proud sponsors of the 2012 Ruth Nicholson Award. This award is named in honor of Ruth Nicholson, who is known for her tireless volunteer work for the Community Foundation of Greenville. This award is presented annually for significant contributions to the Greenville community, either through volunteer work for the Community Foundation directly or through one of its projects, programs, or areas of emphasis. This is the highest honor the Community Foundation presents each year. It is a pleasure and an honor to present the 2012 Ruth Nicholson Award to Todd Heitch.
Giving of your time, talents, and money is what I think is important. The Community Foundation to me has been very helpful from my clients, and being able to recommend the Community Foundation to implement some of my clients' charitable gifts. That's how I first got involved with the Community Foundation. Then I got involved on the board and serving as their legal counsel, and I've just seen the good work that the Community Foundation has done. And it really is an asset to have in Greenville, and we're fortunate to have the Community Foundation.
He's a brilliant lawyer, but he's very practical and he's very accessible. So it's fun to work with him, but he's very responsive, and he's able to distill a lot of information to deal with an issue and give us practical legal advice, which is very important as well as legal counsel. He's been very supportive of the Community Foundation. He serves on several committees, and he's just always someone that understands the importance of what we do and advocates for us, but at the same time makes sure that we are in compliance with the things we need to do to maintain a good reputation.
When you give of your time, you're giving your experience, you're giving your expertise, you're bringing a different viewpoint on how the charity may operate, or if you're working with the individuals that need the help within the charities, they really appreciate that. And it exposes you to an area of the community and an area of life that you may not otherwise be exposed to.
Todd's a great guy. He's enormously devoted to his family. It's important to him to serve his community, and he serves it well. And he's just an all-around great person to know.
It's just an honor for me to receive this award. I have a great deal of respect for the Community Foundation and the Board of Directors and the staff of the Community Foundation, as well as all the individuals who donate their time and money to the Community Foundation, and we are lucky to have such a vibrant Community Foundation in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Brian Rogers, Greenville Market President of Wells Fargo Bank, proud sponsors of the Philanthropic Spirit Award. At Wells Fargo, we enthusiastically support organizations working to strengthen our community. Through the efforts of our dedicated team member volunteers and our contributions, we share our success by giving back to nonprofits and educational institutions that address the vital needs in our community. The Philanthropic Spirit Award honors a business that fosters charitable giving and is dedicated to giving back to the upstate in a significant manner. Since 1986, Sea Level has been actively involved at every turn in supporting our community. Susan, Tom, Ben, Sarah, thank you for what each of you and the employees of Sea Level do for our community. On behalf of your Wells Fargo team, congratulations for winning the 2012 Philanthropic Spirit Award. It is very well deserved.
We're a computer company, started in 1986. Our mom and dad started the company. My dad moved down here with NCR. It's how we got to South Carolina, and then started this business in the mid-'80s. It's basically computers and how computers talk to different pieces of technology in very harsh, rugged environments, mission-critical applications. We have one facility, we have one location, and that's here in upstate South Carolina. So we try to return back, to the community that has given so much to us for so many years now.
I think it adds to the quality of our employees' lives. What we try to do at Sea Level is to really involve our employees in the charities that we're committed to. So for example, if we're supporting a child's haven, then Ben suggested that the company go work out on the land and help clear land for a child's haven. So we actually get our hands dirty and involve everybody. In the case of Helping Hands, Sea Level provides the money to employees to basically adopt a child and shop for them at Christmas time. And it's just a warm and happy thing to do, to give back and be reminded what Christmas is all about.
Children's needs is really a reflection of my mom and her value set. Education and engineering is really a reflection of my dad's value set. And then the arts is really a reflection of both of their value sets. So as second generation, we're picking up how we were raised, and what's important to them has become what's important to us. The more success the company has, the more we're able to give. The more success you want to have, so that the more you can give. They feed off of each other, and you want to keep doing as much of both as you can.
Good evening. I'm Heather Metters with the Community Relations team at JHM Hotels. This year, our Community Outreach Program 1, which stands for Outreach, Nurture, and Encourage, is the proud sponsor of the 2012 Creative Spirit Award. This award recognizes an individual or group whose pro bono efforts are integral to the success of a local nonprofit, and we are pleased to present this year's award to the Jackson Marketing Group.
I just like the idea of selling services, the marketing needs that just about everybody has. We were very much drawn to the fact that communities also need marketing, and that established a very early on philosophy of how can we give back to the community. We relocated to Greenville back in the mid-'80s after having our business started up in the Detroit area. And wanted to set up a southeastern non-automotive office. And then we established a full-service marketing agency with a lot of in-house units. Having charitable work, having organizations that had a cultural need, like Metropolitan Arts Council, Artisphere, some of those. And then organizations that need what I call community enhancement, economic development. I served on the GADC board, Greenville Area Development Corporation, I was one of their founding board members and just love selling the city of Greenville. And if the community's growing, then we can sell the community a whole lot easier. So we must give back to those that really can't afford the kind of services in particular that we have on the marketing arena, because they don't have big budgets, if they have any budget at all. So that's what led to our philosophy early on, to let's give back to those that really can't help themselves in the marketing arena. It's rewarding to me to see all of our people jump in and do it. I sit back like a proud grandpa and say, wow, these people are doing this voluntarily on their own time, from our staff anyway. And that's just multiplied in a lot of the organizations that we work with. We are extremely honored to be honored for this particular award, not as an individual, but as a company, because our people, our associates, are the ones out there doing the bulk of it. And it's a tremendous honor, and I thank the Community Foundation for this opportunity.
Good evening. I'm Rick Davis, managing shareholder of Elliott Davis, proud sponsors of the 2012 Lifetime of Charitable Giving Award. Founded in 1925 and headquartered in Greenville, Elliott Davis is one of the largest accounting, tax, and consulting services firms in the Southeast. We are deeply committed to providing exceptional service to our clients and rewarding opportunities to our people. We are passionate about serving the community we share. The Lifetime of Charitable Giving Award is a special award voted on by a committee made up of executives representing the Community Foundation of Greenville, the Greenville Journal and TOWN magazine. This award celebrates a lifetime of service to others through individual endeavors and through overall community involvement, a gift that spans a lifetime. It is a pleasure and an honor to present the 2012 Lifetime of Charitable Giving Award to the Honorable Dick Riley.
I have been involved and interested in public service all of my life. Really, as a young guy, I was involved in things that I thought mattered. I remember traveling around in the county when we were trying to bring all the school districts together when I was in like the 9th or 10th grade. Very much into that issue to improve schools overall. I then ended up being president of senior class at Greenville High School. I was very close to Greenville High. And then I was the chairman of the student council at Furman. And then in law school, I was president of student body there. Whatever it is, I've had a very good fortune of having a leadership position and being able to use my time in a leadership way.
That mantle of leadership continued in the state legislature, where Riley served for 14 years. And then he came to a crossroads decision that would shape the rest of his life.
My law practice was increased a lot. My Senate involvement had increased a lot. And I said, either I'm going to get all the way in government or get all the way into the law practice, which I love, both. And so I decided to run for governor. I was determined to do something for education. I studied South Carolina's history a lot. I had observed African Americans had been discriminated against for generations, and especially in education. And I really wanted to do something about that and try to turn that. The education thing, though, came to the top in the second term, the beginning of my second term, when I said I'm going all out for education. Win, lose, or draw, and I didn't expect to lose. And people who voted for it, I don't think anybody got beat because they voted for the penny, because it was locked into these education improvements. And they were improvements, and they worked. And education did improve. It improved rather significantly over 3 or 4 years, and then it kind of leveled back off somewhat, but no question about it, it's better, and I'm very proud of that. President Clinton really called me, first of all, and asked me to head up personnel in his transition. In other words, to help him pick the people who were going to make up the federal government. And while there, he said, Dick, I want you on the cabinet. And I said, well, I'm not thinking about the cabinet. I'm a lawyer. I'm enjoying my law practice. And I said, like what? And he said, education. That was the bell that rung with me. And it used to overwhelm me to think that I could sit down at a table in Washington surrounded by 8 or 10 key people and make major decisions that really impacted millions and millions of children, millions of families, impacted the entire United States. And that was an overwhelming experience of mine, and one that I truly loved, and I was very serious about what I did. I've had a great life, and I've had a lot of leadership opportunities. I've had great family. Tunky and I were married for over 50 years, and she died. We were a team. I have wonderful children, 14 grandchildren, and it really has been a wonderful life for me right here in this Greenville community. And to be considered to have achieved things for the good of the community, the good of the state, the good of the country, it's a special feeling to me, and I'm very grateful.